and welcome to the show. I am Tracy Timm, and you are watching the Nth Degree TV, which is, of course, the place to be to take your career from stuck to unstoppable. Super excited to have you here. I love sending you these videos every Tuesday, and today is kind of a special day because I was inspired by one of my online sort of guru, mentor, people that I follow. Her name is Marie Forleo, and on some Tuesdays she does what she calls Q&A Tuesday, and I don't want to rob her of the rights because she named that herself. So I was on a college campus answering questions for a group of master's students, and one of the girls in the audience asked me very directly and specifically, how do you stop making fear-based decisions? And it was such a beautiful and direct question that I paused. Usually I'm right there with words and I know exactly what I want to say, but I thought about, wow, in my life, how have I worked really consciously to stop making fear-based decisions? So, of course, I wanted to share that answer with you here today on the Nth Degree TV. Now, the answer to how to stop making fear-based decisions actually starts way before the decision-making process ever begins. In fact, I realized that the only surefire way to stop making fear-based decisions in your life is to have clarity around what you really want to do and what you really want to accomplish. Now, I understand completely if you're hearing that and saying, awesome, because clarity is the last thing that I have going for me right now. I'm so confused, so stuck, so lost. I have no idea what I want to do. How could I possibly gain clarity in order to stop making fear-based decisions? Trust me, I know exactly how that feels. When I was going through the same thing, I struggled daily to figure out what really mattered to me the most and what I was going to do to start making positive decisions for my life instead of making ones that were based solely out of being afraid to either do the wrong thing or do something that other people weren't expecting of me. I settled on this one fact, and quite honestly, this is the one tactic that I teach all of my clients at the very beginning of the time that we began working together. We've talked about this a little bit in past videos, but in order to gain clarity, you have to take a step back from everything going on in your life right now and understand what really matters to you. And you can do this despite how confused you feel and despite how stuck you feel. Because at the end of the day, what really matters to you, aka your core values in this life, are pretty much absent of the circumstances that are going on. Meaning, if you know your core values up front, you know what you stand for, you know what your standards are, and you know what you will and won't put up with, you can create a set of core values that will last throughout this phase in your life, and sometimes even throughout your entire lifetime, that will remain regardless of what you're going through and regardless of your circumstances right now. Okay, so I don't want you to get too scared and too caught up in this before you start taking action. So I want you to do this right now as soon as you finish this video. I want you to sit down, take a step away from everything going on in your life and ask yourself, what really matters to me? Only you know the answer to that question. Only you know the things in your lives that are non-negotiables, that you need to have around you to make you happy and whole and fulfilled. Only you know whether that's people or whether that's projects, right? Whether that's fast-paced or it's being methodical. Whether it's, gosh, it could be anything, right? Only you know, though, what really, really matters to you. And once you have that list, I want you to mine it for gold, meaning you need to dig into that list and figure out how you're going to start making decisions going forward based on what really matters to you as opposed to what you're afraid of actually happening. Now, that is obviously easier said than done, but the number one way for you to continue making fear-based decisions in your life is to go through life without clarity. Because I promise you this, if you're going through life and having to make really difficult decisions in the moment, fear is going to take over. Fear is there to keep us safe. It's not going anywhere, but you can combat fear by having courage. And the only way to have confidence in your courage is to have clarity around what you really want to accomplish. That's a lot of C's, but I think it's a tweetable, which is also a Marie Forleo phrase, which I love. So send that out if you believe that that's true for you, right? The only way to have confidence in your courage is to have clarity around what you want to accomplish. I believe that wholeheartedly, so I want you to turn this video off in a moment and go create your set of core values. Go fight that fear-based decision process that you've been doing your entire life by gaining clarity around what it is that you want to do with this beautiful, amazing life of yours. Go do it. But before you go do it, make sure that you subscribe underneath this video if you liked it. If you didn't, maybe subscribe anyway. Maybe the next video will be even better. But either way, subscribe. I would love to have you leave a comment here or hop on over to tracytimm.com and leave a comment on the blog post page. And most importantly, if you go over to tracytimm.com, I have created a little freebie for you that will actually walk you through the steps in creating your core values and creating some commitments around them so that you can have more clarity in your life. Because people always ask me for these cheat sheets. It just makes it so much easier. So hop on over to tracytimm.com to grab your freebie guide to creating that clarity that I know you really, really want in your life. And while you're there, feel free to sign up for email updates from me. I put these videos out every Tuesday, and I would love to have you, be in your inbox and be able to share them freely with you every week. So thank you so much for being here. Remember that now is your time and you can do this. You can do this, all right? If you work really hard and with a little bit of help, I promise we can take your career from stuck to unstoppable. See you next time. Because I promise you this, when push comes to shove and you have to make a really difficult decision and you're, that was cute.